Ah, man, oh man, oh man, is it good to be talking about a fun movie? We talked about a lot of fun movies. I just had, I don't know, great time with this one. It's practical magic time, everybody. That's right, folks. We're talking practical magic. Earlier this year, if only a few weeks ago, we got some news that both Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are being like, well, we could do another practical magic today, so we should. And I'm like, you should. You ladies have aged to the roles of your aunts from this movie, so yeah, it is the perfect time for you to do another practical magic, and the perfect time for me to watch this movie I'd never seen before. And I'm glad I did, because this is just great. It's so much fun. It is so lighthearted. It's got some fun brevity to it. It is just so specific in tone, and that tone is you want to have a good time. You want to enjoy yourself, watch some cool ladies just be silly and goofy and ruin no one's lives. No one really gets their life ruined. Just like a dick guy. That's it. And it's like, yeah, that's the whole crux of the movie. A bad guy gets what he deserves, and everyone else gets to be happy. All the women get to be happy. Like, that's a fun plot for a movie, especially in like a really silly romantic comedy, dramedy, whatever you want to call it. Let's set the record straight right away. One of my favorite genres is witches. I love stuff with a witch in it. I love a witch. I love people who are witches. I love witches to death. They are the best. We've talked a couple witches on this channel before. The Love Witch, which is like an early episode of the show. I love that. I love the vibe of just a bunch of people in a town that think these ladies are weird because they don't do conventional stuff, and it turns out they actually are special and have magical powers. I love that. It's the Morticia Adams thing. It's the Elvira thing. I just like a witchy lady, and I love it so much. And I like all of the people in this movie a great deal. We're talking 1998 Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. Two of the most beautiful women to ever exist. Today, they are still the most beautiful women to ever exist. 26 years ago, they're still the most beautiful women to ever exist. They play two sisters, and these two sisters lose their mother because she dies of a heartache because there's a curse upon the Owens women's like lineage that if they fall of a man, the man's going to die tragically because the original one of like their clan was a witch, and then the people cursed her, and then anytime a woman in the Owens family falls in love, the man dies, which happens straight away in this movie. Sandra Bullock is married at the beginning of this movie, and the husband dies very early on. They don't even lead up to it. It's like, oh, she's hearing the sound of the beetle where her husband's going to die. What happens? We think he's going to get run over by a bunch of bikers. He gets hit by a truck. This movie's so campy and silly. Like, it is just the perfect nostalgic time capsule of that period in the 90s where we're still having fun. Things haven't taken like a serious turn yet where we don't make these types of movies, but it's like a huge, high concept, basic idea. Her sister was a witch, and what did that make her sister? A witch. And these are witches, and everyone in the town's like, they're weird. The aunts are weird. And then bad stuff happens. You have one sister who wants to leave. Nicole Kidman wants to leave. She wants to go see the world. She wants to hook up with men but not fall in love with them. That leads her to meeting this bad guy. She falls in with the wrong crowd, and then suddenly she has to call her sister for help, and it leads to some hijinks where they kill him. They kill him twice because they resurrect him, and then they kill him again because they didn't do a good job, and then he starts to haunt their asses, and I'm like, yeah, this is just great. What a high concept thing. It is just the driest of humor where there's no real jokes being made except for like, these ladies are witches. What does that mean? It means they're just gonna like randomly be like brewing potions or have like a cat following them around or something. There's no real clear jokes being made. There is jokes being made, I'll say that. But it's just so deadpan in its delivery that it's just not really trying to be about the joke. It's more about, hey, isn't this weird? Isn't it weird that they do these things? I guess it's kind of weird, but it's also kind of cool because you got some amazing ladies and you're doing some great stuff. I love Sandra Bullock. She's just fantastic. She's like the normal one who wants to have like a normal life. She's like scared she's gonna fall in love, and then she does fall in love, and then her husband dies, and then she's left alone to raise her kids who look exactly like her and her sister did at that age, played by a young Evan Rachel Wood. And this is where I'm like, we already announced we're doing a sequel. Maybe we get Evan Rachel Wood to come back, because now she'd be the age that you guys were in the original one, and she could have her own kids, or probably not, or something cool could happen. I don't know. It's just an idea. I think it'd be great. But she has, like, you get Sandra Bullock's character, she has like kids to look out for. And she lives in a nice house where there's just clutter and everything everywhere. She also runs like a soap shop where people come in. Everyone in the town's like, we know you're a witch. We don't like you, but you also have like really good shampoo. And you make our hair grow better on like our balls and stuff. So we're gonna like keep coming here. And Margot Martindale's in this for a bit. And she's like, yeah, she's fun. She's a witch. I don't know. She's cool. She's not like a bad person. She's just a witch. And Nicole Kidman, who leaves home, goes to experiment. It's really fun. Her story is just shot like a 90s music video where it's really weird camera movements and it's like an insane soundtrack, which we don't have to get into because we could spend an entire hour talking about the soundtrack to this movie. It is just the 90s, just like that specific moment of the 90s. It's truly crazy. She's dating like this crazy guy. His name's Johnny or something. Well, he is a dick. They accidentally kill him. Like, can we resurrect him? Not doing a good job at that. We kill him again. And then this officer, played by Aidan Quinn, shows up to the house one day and he's like, you know what? There's something fishy about what's going on here. I think you killed that guy, or I think you know where he is. And he just sticks around. And this just becomes my favorite character. Because I just like a guy who shows up and is just rolling with the punches. He's like, I could easily figure out the clues here, and I'm gonna. Because it's not like you guys are hiding the fact you killed this guy. It's pretty obvious. But you are Sandra Bullock, and you're Nicole Kidman. You're two of the hottest ladies ever, and I'm just some guy who's fairly attractive. So I'm just going to see what's going on and accept my fate, and whatever comes, whatever comes. And that's what happens. I'm like, that is awesome. This dude is just like, okay, I guess I'm interviewing them at their house in the morning, and these girls don't know how to make pancakes. Lucky for them, I know how to make pancakes in the shape of cactuses, so I'm going to do that. And these girls are going to be like, why aren't you our dad right now? Well, it turns out that when Sandra Bullock's character was young and tried to swear off love, she envisioned the perfect man for herself, who was just like this very specific thing that's almost impossible to exist, which is a guy with a green eye and a blue eye and can make special pancakes. Well, that guy exists now. And he is like literally made up to be the perfect husband in person to her. And you're just like, that's awesome. It's so stupid, but it's awesome. We already got the best looking aesthetic you've ever seen. It's the 90s filter. Everyone's dressed up like they're from the 90s. We got the music going. The camera's moving in some really weird ways, some really fast ways. It's like if Cruel Intentions and Dawson's Creek had a baby with Buffy. Does that make sense at all to anybody but me? I don't know, but it's kind of awesome. And there is actual magic in here. It's not like it's a joke. They're witches. Like, they are from a line of witches, and they do witchy stuff. And they're, like, outcasts, but not really, but they are outcasts. It's just, like, very specific and kind of weird. The movie has to end with a big exorcism where they, like, get rid of, like, the body, or they get rid of, like, the soul that's possessing Kidman's character. And Johnny gets put back into the ground. We get like all the women of the town to bring their brooms and make like a circle so they can't. It's truly insane. But you know what else is awesome about this? It is a late 90s movie with visual effects that hold up. Not perfectly. They're not like, oh, this is unbelievable. They hold up very well. They look good. You buy everything going on. The makeup, when we have like the resurrected soul of Johnny show up and he's like covered in gray, it looks cool. The practical effects, the practical magic effects. We're like moving a couch out of a room and a bunch of toads start to fall out of it. That's awesome. You know what doesn't hurt this at all? The fact that these are the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your life. 'Cause just like these women don't look like normal witches, but when you are Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock, how could anything you do look normal? You're just like perfect and beautiful in every way. You're gonna fall in love. There's like so many great aesthetics for them. My favorite one is when we were like introduced to Sandra Bullock and she's just like sitting on a patio in like big nerdy glasses with bangs trying to make her look like she's a nerd. And Nicole Kidman's trying to sneak away. And then I love the look where Nicole Kidman's trying to like make the potion so she can like get rid of Aidan Quinn's character. And she's got like these little weird glasses on and just like her hair's a mess and she's talking to the kids. It's awesome. And if that wasn't awesome enough, because that in itself is awesome, you know what's even more awesome? Diane Wiest, who is just awesome, just shows up being like one of the aunts from Sabrina. It's just great. And then one of my favorite people, Stockard Channing, who is unbelievably cool in this. Like, just the coolest person ever. I just like witches, okay? And Stockard Channing just has that vibe of someone who's very snarky, very witchy, and it's the perfect blend of everything I want, just like wrapped around in some really cool robes. She's just like, yeah, you know, win some, lose some, don't fall in love, or do. Either way, we'll figure it out. There's a really awesome sequence where like the four main ladies are all getting drunk together. It just turns into like cackling of just like these witches. I'm like, yeah, this is, I guess, how you would have women who are witches living in suburbia behave. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. And it just wraps up nicely. Like, they get rid of the dick guy who is possessing Kidman. It's not that type of movie where there's going to be like some, you know, intense shit going on. The women team up. They get rid of him. Bullock can fall in love with Quinn. It can be a happy ending. And we just have some hijinks along the way. And it looks incredible. I haven't really described it, but we are doing some really interesting camera work, just like following somebody throughout an entire house. Like, it's crazy how good this looks and how awesome all these people are. It's just the perfect blend of everything that's awesome in a movie rolled into this like really campy 90s thing. I say this all the time. I'm going to say it again. We don't make movies like this anymore. There's no way a studio would be like, let's stick this thing in cinemas. It's too campy. It is just too silly. And there's no way like a male audience of the day could accept having this many cool witchy characters just like get away with everything they do. But it's fun and it's awesome. And it's like these really cool ladies who are still awesome today, being awesome back then. And Stockard Channing, who I love. It's just everything I love in a movie rolled into one. Oh, it's just nice. Like, Aidan Quinn's character, man, that's just who I want to be. Just like, okay, I guess I'm making pancakes this morning. I'm supposed to be investigating, like, where this guy went. But you know what? I just fell in love with Sandra Bullock, and she loves me, so I can't be too mad about anything going on. And you can't, because you get the happy ending. It's practical magic. Practical effects, visual effects, and cool movies. Cool movie, man. It's just nice to like things. It's just nice when things are good and fun and campy and schlucky and are fully aware of their power. This is why I love Elvira stuff, because I love the idea of just everyone in the town is aware this person's a witch. They're different and an outcast just because they're comfortable in talking about stuff and dress a specific way. That's really fun. But this movie's actually like, they're witches though. Like, they can fly and stuff. That's awesome. It's awesome. Practical magic. Give me the sequel, please. And get Evan Rachel Wood in it. So that is going to do it for this episode of Movie Tales. Now, thank you all for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.